Hey friends, Jeff Bergerson here with Fantasy Golf Insider. We're going to walk you through how to use our lineup generators to help you generate a lot of lineups instantly and help increase your chances at winning some of these large field GPPs. All of the sharks in DFS now are using some sort of lineup generator to generate a large amount of lineups. It's nearly impossible to enter one lineup in a field of 10,000 or 100,000 entries and expect to win it. The way we recommend you play is by building multiple lineups around a core of players. Now, that doesn't mean playing above your bankroll. So if you have to lower your dollar buy-ins that you're playing in, then do that. As a reminder, we recommend not playing more than 10 to 20% of your entire bankroll in any given week and playing more of your dollars in cash games. So let's say your weekly bankroll for GPPs is $150. What I would recommend doing is entering 50 lineups in the $3 rather than just 5 lineups in the $30. It's going to give you more chances. It's going to give you more bullets that if you hit your core, you're really going to have a legitimate chance at winning the thing and winning a huge amount of money. Every week I share with our members my GPP that's in Jeff's Hardcore Core. These are the guys I'm building my teams around, along with some other peripheral players at much lower weightings, depending on just how large the field is that week and how many teams I'm going to be entering. Zach also shares his core and his weightings each week in the daily spin. You can use both of these as guidelines. You can use them exactly how we have them, but we recommend you use all the tools on the site to formulate your own opinion and develop your own weightings. So I'm going to show you under PGA Tools. Go to PGA Lineup Generator. You'll also see the European Lineup Generator under Euro Tours if you are a Euro Tour subscriber. But we're going to show you the PGA Lineup Generator. And this one was actually for the Hero World Challenge. And the reason I wanted to walk you through this is because I had quite a bit of success for the Hero World Challenge. I took third in the $300 contest, and I tied for first in the $4 contest, and I think there was probably 30,000 some entries in that contest. And I used this lineup generator to build 50 lineups to enter that tournament. So here it shows number of lineups that you desire to be built, and you can put in whatever number you want there. So if you want to max enter a $3, you can put in 150 lineups. For this demonstration, I'm going to do 50 lineups. Here's your salary that you want the combined salary to add up to. So your entire roster of 6 guys is going to be between 49,000 and 50,000. Again, you can alter that if you wanted to do 49,800, so you're not wasting any, you're not leaving any dollars on the table. I always use 49,000 because it's not such a bad thing in large field GPPs to leave a little money on the table to try and set yourself apart from other lineups. Here it shows you total roster spots. So you're going to see these populate once we start put the weightings in for our target percentage. Now these are the exposure that you want of each player in the field. And I'm going to do it similar. Actually, I'm going to show you a way that's not going to generate 50 lineups. Let's say you want, let's do this. I want to build teams with the top bunch of guys. And I'm going to try and generate lineups based on these percentages here. What you're going to see up here is it's not possible. You can't build 50 teams with these weightings and this exposure of the top price guys. So if you're getting this message up here, it means you need to adjust your weighting so that the lineup generator can build the proper amount of lineups that you're desiring. So I'm going to put in the weightings that were similar to what I used for this particular tournament. And actually for Hideki Matsuyama, I had 100% exposure to him, which turned out pretty good because he won the tournament. I don't always have 100% of a player in a tournament. Usually my highest weighting is around 50, 60, or 70%, depending on what I believe the field is going to own of them. If I want to be overweight on a guy and I think the field's going to own 40%, well, then I have to own 60, 70, 80%. So I'm going to do that. And be sure to check out under PGA Tools our predictions as far as ownership percentage goes. That's a key thing to look at so you can make sure that if you really like a guy that you are going to be overweight the field. Justin Rose, I actually ended up fading completely, so I had 0% of him, which turned out really nicely because he ended up withdrawing after the first round. It doesn't always work that beautifully. I had 0 exposure to Oosthuizen. I had 25% to Kuchar. I faded Tiger completely, I faded Jimmy Walker completely, and I faded Zach Johnson completely. So you'll see, here are the weightings that I want all of these guys in my lineups. I'm going to click Generate, and it's going to build me 50 lineups almost instantly. There you go. The target count is the percentage that you want. So of 50 lineups, 25% is going to be 12.5 lineups. I got Dustin Johnson in 13 of those lineups, which is really incredibly accurate. I do want to give a special shout out to our guy Aaron, who built this lineup generator. He did an absolutely fantastic job on it, and I give him a ton of credit for making it look as good as it does and function as good as it does. So nice job, Aaron. You're going to see, you go through here, all of these are really close. Here's one, Patrick Reed. I wanted 25% of him, which is in 12.5 lineups, and he ended up in 20 of them. So a weighting of 40%. That's a little bit high for Reed, for my liking in here. So let's say you have a couple that are much higher than you feel comfortable with. Russell Knox is in 60%. That's just the way the lineup generator builds them, and you're not always going to be perfectly happy with it. So what you can do is, if you're not happy with it, click Generate again. It's going to build 50 new lineups, and you're going to have similar weightings, but it's gonna be off a little bit because sometimes it just has to. And now the Hero World Challenge was a very small field event, so we're just looking at a small amount of guys here. This looks pretty good to me. I'm really happy with this. As you'll see, I wanted Hideki in all 50 of my lineups. He is. If you put in 100%, that player will be, and it's pretty close on all of the others. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to click lineups, and here you'll see all of the lineups that it instantaneously built. Pretty great. Now you can take these and go to DraftKings and type them in or click on them and fill them in manually, or you can do something better. You can click export, and it's going to export them to an Excel file, which is super convenient. I'm going to save this one. As DK lineups under documents, and I'm going to go to DraftKings, and I'm going to go under lineups, and I'm going to click upload lineups. And then you go under that file, and you click that, and you're going to open it, and it's going to upload all of those lineups. Now it's already happened, so it's not going to show these lineups on there, but if it's an upcoming event, it's going to upload all of those lineups. It's going to list them, and you're going to be able to enter those into a contest super quickly, a lot of lineups. Now, if you seem pretty happy with this, go ahead and use it. I'm also going to show you, I'll walk you through an example on the Euro Tour, just because that was a much larger field. So let's say I want to build 150 lineups for this field because it is so much bigger. I'm going to walk through and put in the exposure that I want. Generally, for when I enter 100 or 150 lineups each week, I'm looking at about somewhere between 20 and 35 players, I would say, is who I'm targeting. My core, my hardcore core each week is usually about 15 guys or so. And then I have some peripherals, some guys that I think have a chance, have a high ceiling, that'll have low ownership, that I'm going to take a chance on. Maybe I only do 5%, let's say, but I'm getting some exposure to them. So if I hit all of my other core and these guys happen to do something and jump up, it's really going to give me a good shot at winning a lot of money. Let me do a couple more here, and that should allow me to build some lineups. You'll see up here it says total players used, total roster spots. So you're shooting for 900 here. I'm only at 500, so I gotta do quite a bit more here. You see, as I increase the weightings, those numbers are going up for roster spots filled. And I'm getting pretty close to that. So I'm going to try and generate 150 lineups here. Let's see if it will do it for me based on what I put in for weightings. Look at that, 150 lineups just like that. I click lineups, here they are right here. It's so convenient and allows you a real advantage in these GPPs. If for some reason you want to just clear these, you can just click clear exposure and boom, you're back to zero and start all over again. I recommend you guys use it. I hope you like it. If you have any feedback for us on it, please let us know. But give it a try in the coming weeks and see if it's not helping you in your GPPs. Good luck, guys.